This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Talk Dolphins. I'm going, man, it's really tough. I got nothing Dolphins to talk about, but let's go to a Dolphins report. So here I say to you, better whale hunter in 2022, Pat Riley, Mr. Zito, or Chris Greer?
In 2022?
I had to throw the caveat. Once you say Pat Riley, he F's everybody up already. It's 25 years of harpooning, so I can't do that, bro. So I had to start in 2022 because Riley is still whale hunting, has not found his whale, but Chris Greer got 2 whales, right? Because I would say Tyreek and Armstead are whales. And then our boy Zito just got Kachuk. That's a whale. So who's the better whale hunter of 2022?
Well, since it's the Dolphins insider report, I should better say Chris Greer, right?
Right. Damn right.
There you go, Chris Greer.
Hey, technically, Tyreek is more accomplished than Kachuk, right? Because he's got a Super Bowl championship. He's, even though Kachuk is one of the best players also in the league, and then Teron Armstead, multiple-time Pro Bowler, one of the best left tackles in the league. So, it's really not being a homer there. Right now, we got to give Greer the whale hunting award of the year this year. That's all right.
Except a 24, and it's funny because I didn't think that it would come to pass because you had asked me like in recent episodes who's like an NHL superstar who could be on the move, like be disgruntled. Well, Matthew Tkachuk is 24-year-old and he is a power forward, which is a physical guy who can score, and those are unicorns in the NHL. The Panthers haven't had that, and now they got their hands on one of them. That's huge.
It's what I wanted, right? Didn't I tell you? Did I say from the get-go, they got to get rid of Huberdeau and go get themselves a start? The only caveat was, as I told you over and over again, I'm not smart enough. Like in the NFL and the NBA, I know who the disgruntled players are and who you might be able to go get or unearth or whatever. In hockey, I had no idea who it was until the Kachuk name came up in the last, maybe week, 10 days or something, that it started the rumblings. And then that happened, and it was like, oh, my God. Friday night, I was just giddy, dude.
It's huge.
My God.
No, and the thing is because I don't want to dump on you on Huberdeau, not just because of the fact that he's like from a town like maybe 20 minutes from where I grew up.
No, hey, Huberdeau's fantastic, bro. He's
correct, but in the
player.
regular season, his game does not translate to the playoffs. I've said this countless
times. Said that
times.
over and over. Yes, yeah. This is a son of a bitch. Correct. You needed a Jimmy Butler. You needed a son of a bitch. You needed an Alonzo Mourning. You needed a Dwayne Wade. You needed somebody that wants to cut your heart out. Okay? And that's what this kid is. This is the kid that wants to stick it to you all the damn time. And that's what you needed on this team. And let me tell you, with a Barkov on his team, that's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be a ton of fun to have those two guys on the same line.
No, correct. No, it's.
Oh my God!
I saw some Twitter reactions like the Flames hosed the Panthers like Friday night. And I'm like, no, they didn't. No, they didn't. And this is not
30-year. Yes, Hubie's great, but he's 30. You're getting a 24-year-old young superstar on the rise. You got him right when he's just now exploding. Are you kidding me, dude? Yeah, no, you got it. Hey, listen, you had to give up Glenn Rice to get Alonzo Mourning. You had to add Caron Butler in there with Lamar and Grant and the picks to get Shaq. This is the way the game is played, dude. You don't pick up a guy like this by giving up nothing. You had to give up something, and they gave up, but I still think they got the better player in return when it's all said and done.
I agree, and they got rid of 2 headache situation when it comes to the contract, because Huberdeau needed a new big contract and Mackenzie Weegar needed a new big contract. And while Mackenzie Weegar is a nice player, he's another guy who's not necessarily built for the playoffs because he's a smaller finesse defenseman. and he gets pushed around a bit in the playoffs. And he's also, unfortunately, the last couple of years has been prone to making the key mistake here and there. So he's a nice player, but again, to me, that's a very good. The only part of the trade I wasn't crazy about is throwing in the first round pick in 2025. But it's possible that the Flames told the Panthers, well, we're not making the deal without that. And at that point, I'd rather give it up.
Here's the other thing. There's no guarantee that they keep Hubie and Uyghur in a year from now. You know, unlike the Panthers, who traded, and they did what the Texans failed to do with Tunsil and the Chiefs failed to do with Orlando Brown. When you trade for one of these monster mofos, give them the contract right there and then and lock it down. Or if not, they've got you by the balls. And that's what Tunsil had Texans by the balls. You had to give him the money. And Orlando's the same thing. He's got the Chiefs by the balls. Panthers, not only did they make a great trade, they then signed him to an 8-year contract to lock him down, which, by the way, just shows you their intelligence and the commitment from the ownership group once again, by the way. Once again.
Well, yeah, but they had already proven that.
I know, but they keep proving it. You still got to love the fact that it's there, bro. It's not an aberration. It wasn't a wave that they did. It wasn't like a Loria thing. Oh, we'll spend and then we'll trade everybody 3 months. No. This is who they are. I love it, man. They're still over the cap. So if that's not proof that they're not afraid of spending, I don't know what is. Right.
But having said that, let's call it a tie between Bill Zito and Chris Greer, because getting Tyreek Hill and Teron Armstead, let's say, equals getting the unicorn and Matthew Tkachuk. How's that?
Okay.
Fair?
It's fair. It's hard. At this point, I don't want to diss the Panthers in any way, shape, or form after doing what they've done. What you love is, and here's the other thing. I talked about this on Saturday. This is the most competitive group of owners we've ever had in South Florida. I know you don't follow it, but the owner of Inter Miami just traded for the league MVP from 2 years ago. Okay.
Solid.
All right.
And you're right.
Yeah. No. And the guy built a $175 million stadium in Fort Lauderdale for fun because he's going to abandon it and eventually go to Miami. Literally. He's abandoning it. He's going to leave a minor league team there. And Alan, you are a longtime resident, as I am. The Hooters, the Matadors. What I don't give a shit what minor league team you bring here. What happens to them? Boom, down. It's over. That stadium's going to be left there for a minor league team. Their whatever their NAL NPSL team or whatever the hell the league is called. I forgot now, but that's what I'm telling you. Nobody's going to be going to that stadium. I mean, his commitment is second to none. The Panthers, Iola and Sifu, what they're doing at War Memorial, everything. Mickey, what he's done for over a quarter century. That go. Stephen Ross, my Lord. I know we need winning to complete the whole resume, but the commitment is there.
He spent. That can't be argued.
Practice field, saves the tennis tournament, being a great custodian of our community. Brought the F1 race. That stadium is a pleasure to go to for a game or a concert. It is super comfortable to go to that place. So the only person is Sherman. Outside of that, the other four owners, I don't know if we've had a more competitive group ever in South Florida outside of when Wayne owned all the teams or whatever. But I mean, individually, that we have 5 owners now, this is a pretty competitive group outside of baseball.
Yeah, but now it's time for some results. We need to see playoffs for the Dolphins. We need to see a deep run into the playoffs for the Panthers. The Heat won titles not that long ago. I mean, they were like on the doorstep of going back to the NBA Finals just this past season, and then the Marlins will be waiting a while.
Right, exactly. Well, yeah, no, listen, but again, the Inter Miami just started. To the Panthers' credit, ever since Sifu and Viola and Sifu took over, they have improved that team every year, and they've made the changes that they have to. So there's progress being made with the Panthers every year. And obviously, like I said, Inter just took over, and we're looking at, Ross now looks like he may have the right combination now, finally, of I hope at least, of coach, general manager, and quarterback, which, but I think at least the ingredients are there to succeed. You know what I'm saying? At least it looks like those three other franchises are doing more things along the line, like the Heat, to go out and have success. That's all I'm saying.
Well, and if they come up short, it's not for lack of trying. And as a fan, that's a big part of what you want.
Yeah, I'm with you there. All right, so 3 things you're looking forward to most here in this first week of camp.
Well, one of them actually just materialized this morning, which was great news. Raheem Mostert putting on social media that he's been cleared. That was a big question mark for me. That was very good. I'd like to see Byron Jones come off PUP like yesterday if possible, but as soon as it can happen, because that's an area of concern for me, is the cornerback position, because there's not a ton of depth there. This is a defense that relies an awful lot on what their cornerbacks can do, with Xavier on one side, Byron Jones on the other side. And Byron Jones, I don't think gets half the credit he deserves for being the kind of quality corner that he is, even though he doesn't come up with interceptions and is not in Xavier Howard's.
I love that he's out.
Because it gives an opportunity to see other guys. But to me, I'm going to get
Noah. Forget other guys. I need to see Noah. Give Noah. I don't need to see Byron Jones, dude. Give him 2 weeks of practice in the back end so he can get ready for the regular season. Hell, if X wants to go take a vacation, bro, go to the Bahamas and relax, X. Come back in a couple of weeks. Okay. I don't need to see those guys on the – I don't need them risking any injury or whatever. I've seen those guys.
But dude, here's my thing. I
love the Noah PT, man. Love it.
Okay, Big O, I agree with you. If you're going to guarantee me that Byron Jones is going to be 100% full-blown Byron Jones by the time the regular season starts, I'm with you there. But this is a guy who is, close to 30 now, had off-season leg surgery, so I'm going to feel a little bit.
But he's a pro's pro.
I know, I agree with you, but
you know what I mean?
Let me finish. To coin a phrase from years ago, it's going to make me feel a little queasy until I see him back on the field at 100%. So that's my concern there. I want to see the offensive line staying put and actually doing some things. And this isn't so much things we're going to see the next 2 weeks, but when they go up to Tampa in those joint practices, I want the offensive line to, at the very least, have a stalemate with that Buccaneers defensive line and not get blown off the field or blown off the line like we saw. I remember like in 2017, the Dolphins had joint practices with the Eagles, and the difference between those two teams in those practices was alarming. And then the Eagles went on to win the Super Bowl that year, and then you go back and you could see why, and the Dolphins weren't in that same class. I don't want to see that. So those are 3 things that come to mind quickly since you asked me for 3 things.
And by the way, why I don't
know progress also, obviously.
I'll give you something that was worse than Byron Jones, and I had no concerns, and they signed him as a free agent. Brent Grimes. Brent Grimes suffered an Achilles injury, and then they went and signed him, and people were asking, well, they signed a guy, and I go, that's Brent Grimes. You don't worry about guys like that. Those are pros. Those guys take their rehab as serious as they take their game. You'll be fine. Like Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade used to go through like this 2-hour ritual before every game to get his knee prepared in order to play the game. And it was just one of those things that it was part of being a pro. And some guy, Zach Thomas, dude, you were around Zach, hyperbolic chamber, watching tape like a son of a bitch, did all kinds of things to get prepared more than most. That's why he was such a great player. And that's why I don't worry about Byron Jones. And I know he'll be fine because his track record says, I take this shit serious. You can count on me. And that's been his whole career. That's the way I look at it.
No, that's fair. But the flip side to that is he had surgery in February or March, I want to say.
I think so. Yeah.
And now we're in July, and he's on PUP to start training camp. So I'm going to be cautiously optimistic, but you'll have to forgive me if that makes me a little bit nervous.
No. I get you. It's understandable. It's understandable to make you nervous. I'm just excited for Noah because he's got to start breaking through now. Yep. It's his 3rd year. He's got to figure things out. And hopefully this playing time for him will be golden, and we'll see, because the ability is there. He's a smart kid. I just think it's a matter of developing the instincts to play that position, because it doesn't come natural to him since he's still so new to this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's some technical stuff that bogged him down the first couple of years. I know he was like guilty of peeking into the backfield an awful lot. He could easily be beaten on double moves, like bad. And this is where Sam and Pat are going to come into play, and then be like, Noah, this is what you need to do. That's your technique on this play, and stay with it. You'll be fine. And then trust the technique, as opposed to relying on maybe the fact that he was a great athlete. You know, and at Auburn, he could get away with some of the stuff that you can't get away with in the NFL.
Give us what you're working on at alldolphins.com so folks can check you out, my friend.
Yeah, that's busy morning. Like already up today, I just finished putting up the story about Raheem Mostert, as we discussed. I had a story. The SI Fan Nation team publishers around the league were asked to come up with one bold prediction, either for training camp and the regular season. That story is up as well. I posted mine and the other 3 AFC East team publisher predictions. I also did the 53-man roster projection, which I reserve the privilege and authority to change anytime I like to fit whatever happens. But no, I did one. I mean, those are tough to do, and did one of those. Continuing the countdown, today was number 45, I want to say. Yes, today was number 45. And then whatever else happens, because this is the time of year now, stuff is going to be happening. So now I'm going to be getting close to 87 stories a day on the site.
Yeah, you slacker. Let's go.
Yes.
Pick it up already. Damn it, bro. Jesus.
I feel shame.
All right, and follow him on Twitter at Poupart NFL. Catch his work there. Alldolphins.com. Bookmark it. All right, there you go. Alain, as always, thank you, my brother. We'll catch up later in the week, and thank God football is here.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
You got it. Be good. There you go. Alain Poupart, as always, with our Sports Grill Miami Dolphins report.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.